All right, so let's get right into the first topic of, do you think Father Gabriel betrayed the group? How do you feel about what old Father G did at the beginning of this episode, where he steals everything in the pantry, takes off in that car? What are you thinking, Mom?
I don't think. I think he was made to take off.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like he's come way too far. He worked really, really hard to get their confidence to to make them leave their children with him.
That's
I,
true.
I just I feel like he had no idea that I don't know, maybe that somebody was there to knock him over the head or what the deal was. Because when he went into the pantry,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's like he was on watch,
Yeah.
and he seems, he's reading his Bible and he's reading a passage and then kind of going, yeah, yeah, I get that, yeah, I like that, good job, Jesus,
Yeah.
you know, and but then when he goes into the pantry, it there's a ton of noise.
Yeah. There's a loud crash.
Right. And at first I thought, well, dad gum, dude, if you're going to take all the food,
Yeah.
why would you be so loud about it? Somebody's going to
Yeah.
hear you. But that's when I kind of feel like maybe somebody jumped out at him.
Yeah, no, I 1000% agree. It's really tough for me to even. Okay, so I know we watched the episode together, and
Hmm.
whenever we were watching the episode, we didn't notice that there was another figure in that car. It was just
Right.
really hard to see. We were watching it on iTunes, and yeah, didn't notice that there was another
Right.
figure in that car. So once you put two and two together, you see whenever Father Gabriel goes out to that car, he gets in the car, he starts driving off, and then all of a sudden it was like so weird. It was like, they weren't there, and then they're just like
And
they
they,
creepily
I
come up
know.
as the car's like driving away. It was very awkward. So I
Hmm.
think that right there dispels any questions of Father Gabriel's honor and the fact that he is loyal to the group, because
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt about it. Father G has come a long ass way. Like, he is
Yeah.
a badass dude, and he, just like Rick. It's funny because the only one really defending him was
Hmm.
Rick Grimes, and
Yep.
think about that whenever you go back to whenever they first meet Father Gabriel and how poorly he was treated by Rick, and even in season 6, how he's like ripping his signs down and shit.
Yeah. Gabriel's like, hey, prayer meeting.
Yeah.
Rick, no, there's not going to be a prayer meeting.
Yeah.
Just walking behind him and tearing him down. So yeah, I loved when he defended him.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was
I,
great.
I thought it was awesome. And yeah, I don't know if it's just if my TV's just too dark, but it was really hard for me to.
Yeah.
I really had to concentrate to see somebody in that car.
It was really quick. I mean, it was literally he starts driving off, and then like 1 second, maybe 2 seconds at max, is whenever it showed that person coming up a little, coming up in the car in the passenger side. I don't even think he was in the passenger seat. I think he was in the behind the driver in passenger seats in the back seat. Kind of like how if you rob a car, and
Yeah.
you like they get in the driver's seat, they think everything's okay, and then all of a sudden
Yep.
somebody pulls up a gun behind their head, which is
Right.
not cool. So I honestly think it's the person with the boots. I think that's what's going on, because remember how we
Yeah.
left off in episode 8? That was like that cliffhanger ending of, we see somebody looking out over Alexandria, and we see that shot of the boots. And I think that just played right into it.
Yes.
Like, it was just a continuation from episode 8. The person that's in the boots came in. They knocked out Father Gabriel, like you're saying, in the pantry and everything. Just because I think it all goes back to that little note that was left on the
When
boat.
he, right.
The
Right.
congrats for winning, but you still lose.
Right.
We didn't
Right.
know what that was at first, but now I think we do, right?
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, he leaves. Gabriel left a note saying "boat." At least we assume that was him that wrote that in Olivia's breakdown of where everything
Yeah.
was. Um, so it looked like to me some of the weapons that
Mhm.
were still stashed.
Yeah.
Um that some of those people in that group that surround Rick and the rest of the gang at the end, it looked like they had some of those weapons to me.
They could have very well already got some of those weapons. I don't know. I am a little bit confused on that. That was the only point in the whole Father Gabriel getting, potentially kidnapped type of thing that I wasn't sure on of who wrote boat in that notepad, because
Yeah.
we didn't see it on screen that Rick and Aaron said, "Oh, we found this boat full of supplies." They never really said like where they got the
Right.
supplies, at least as far as I can remember. So I don't know how Father Gabriel would have known boat, or it
Well,
could have been. Oh, what was
I
that?
mean, if the whoever the person was said, "Look, your people came and stole everything from my boat."
It it could be that, like, that's kind of where my thought process was going, was like, okay, maybe this individual, honestly, maybe they wrote boat on there so that way they would come looking for them. I don't know. That's the only big mystery to me, because
Yeah.
I think the thought behind Father Gabriel betraying, I think that is busted. I don't think that's true at all. I definitely think that he was coerced into getting all the supplies and everything. The one thing that I really liked, that I noticed, I don't know if this meant anything, but whenever Father Gabriel, whenever he's getting the stuff, and he's definitely being rushed to grab all the items and everything,
Right.
and he checks in Olivia's notepad like you were saying, and he says, "Just checking," and it looked to me like maybe he was checking to make sure that those supplies wasn't inventoried yet. Because if they were inventoried, then whenever Simon or Negan or whoever came, they would have another scenario where, it's
Right.
like, hey, this is on the inventory. Where the hell is this weapon at? That kind of stuff. Because it looked like there wasn't anything there, which we know that they had a lot of stuff that they had just come upon from that boat. So
Right.
I don't know. And that was another like telltale sign to me that he wasn't trying to betray them. He was just, hey, this sucks, but I need to double check really quickly to make sure that if Negan or Simon comes along,
Right.
that, hey, I'm gonna have to plead my case to whoever this person is that's forcing him to do this. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm excited to find out, what's going on here, but no way in he double hockey sticks did
Exactly.
Father Gabriel betray his main boo, Rick Grimes. I wanted to close out this Father Gabriel discussion with some comments from some of our listeners. Some of our listeners.
There's no. You're touched by the fact that we have listeners.
I am touched. I am touched, and I'm halfway dying. I'm on a good cocktail of drugs lately.
Let me do this. Am I actually hitting you on the?
You're like, you got like some kind of hand problem.
I'm
Here,
trying not to.
let me
I'm
get
not trying
closer
to make
to you.
my.
There you go.
Okay.
Now pat me. You're patting me on the face.
Oh!
And it looked like you had some like really small hand that you're like, you're like, let me get my strong hand on you. Yeah, let me put it in the mashed potatoes.
Oh God, that baby hand thing.
Oh, I know that
yeah,
baby hand
baby
from
hand.
Scary Movie or whatever. It's probably one of the grossest things I've ever seen
I
in a
know,
movie.
that's
It's just
so
like
disgusting.
he's just
Yeah.
like dipping it in there. Yeah, it was so gross. But Andrew had this to say. He said, Father Gabriel hasn't betrayed the group. In episode 8, when Gabriel was in the car with Spencer and got out, I think he found these people and asked them to help them. Then they said, we need food, so he got them as a bargaining chip. He even hinted at it when talking with Rosita. Now, I don't know what Andrew's referring to whenever he hinted at it, talking with Rosita. I don't know about whether or not Father Gabriel has reached out to these people already. I think that, I definitely think he was forced at this point, mainly just because the way his facial expressions were. Now, not saying that Andrew couldn't be right on this, because maybe,
Right.
Maybe it was one of those instances where he's like, I got to get these supplies to them because they said they were going to help us out if I got them supplies, and he didn't want anybody to find out that he was
Right.
taking the stuff, and that's why he was
But
like sweating and stuff.
taking all the food to me
Yeah, that
is
would be a real dick move.
right. Exactly. So you'd have to really want somebody to help out a lot.
Yes,
So
a lot. Now they do have a lot of people. They do have the numbers, as Rick Grimes
yes.
likes to say. And then Mr. Midnight, aka Aaron Sharp, he said after watching a few times, I did see the person pop up in the car when Gabriel left Alexandria. Also, slight spoiler alert. For episode 10, because there's been a teaser trailer that's come out, and Mr. Midnight said, "Did you see Gabriel's car in the aerial shot of the junkyard?"
No,
I
because
didn't.
I saw that comment after I hadn't had a chance to go back and look. But see, I do feel like that there's a connection between just when I saw the weapons. To me, they look like a lot of the axes and or hatchets, as we like to call it on this show.
Yes.
So anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see the shot. I did not see the shot of his car, but I absolutely love the thought of this whole junkyard, and we'll get into a little bit more of the junkyard dog gang kids group bunch. Yes,
Yeah.
here in a little bit when we talk about Wow Is Rick Smiling and the new group. So hold on to that thought right there, and if you're watching this video as a separate video, make sure you watch the other video where we talk about the new group and everything. And if you're listening to this in audio form, you're getting it all right there
all
for
in
you.
One big juicy nugget.
Yeah, just a big old juicy, greasy nugget. Makes you real hungry, and then you gotta have some Pepto with it on top.